Good day, students. Welcome to this session. I'm going to discuss assignment 3 instructions and what to expect. Okay. So, firstly, let me start talking about peer assessment. So, understanding the concept and its benefits. So, if one would ask, what is peer assessment? So, peer assessment is the process where students evaluate each other's work, which means let's take for instance you submitting assessment number 3. It is not going to be marked by the lecturer or any marker who's been hired to mark CIC or an e-tutor, but instead it is going to be other students who are doing CIC2601 who are going to assess your assessment. Okay. So which means you yourself, you're going to assess somebody else's assessment. So there's multiple benefits of peer assessments. Hence the reason why we chose peer assessment. So peer assessment benefits include the following. It encourages critical thinking and self-reflection. Okay. It enhances learning through feedback. It also promotes collaborative learning. So in a nutshell, the purpose of doing peer assessment is for you to get the feedback from your own peers and understand how they review your work and what they understand from your work, and critically evaluating it, giving you the feedback, where to improve, or just commenting how well you did. So on a peer level, it also helps and boosts your morale. So I believe you also, when you are peer reviewing other students' work, you have to be ethical about it. So there's no cheating, meaning that you will not see your friend's script. Let's say you are allocated to a friend's script and then you give them the grades because you know them. So that would be foul because we have something called evaluation whereby you can be penalized for that. But otherwise, it is very important to be ethical when you do peer assessment because of you giving the right feedback, a truthful one, in a way to improve the next person. Okay. So now let's look at an example. So let's imagine in a classroom where students review each other's essay using a rubric and providing a constructive feedback. So for this assignment 3, it is going to be similar to assignment number 2. Okay. It's going to be using a rubric. So what you're going to do is your peer will submit the assignment, same as you, and then we will allocate you, let's say, 3 assignments to mark, which means the first one you will mark yourself and mark other 2 assignments, right? From there, you will make use of the rubric, which will guide you in terms of assessing what your peers have submitted. And then by doing that, it means that it is very important for you to familiarize yourself with the rubric, understanding the question that is being asked on the assignment, and then what is required. And of course, the responses will be different from one student to the other. But if you find yourself not understanding the rubric itself, that means that you will not be fit to be assessing anyone. So you need to understand the question and you need to understand what the rubric wants. Okay. If you can see, there's a picture here. There's 3 boxes, each holding a worksheet that they have done. And you can see the arrow that is moving in a clockwise direction, meaning that let's just say this is a CIC student 1. It's going to give his script or her script to CIC student 2. And the CIC student 2 can take their script to CIC student 3. CIC student 3 take their script to CIC student 1. So everybody is assessing each other's assignment. So we can do it in different ways. For example, this one can give it to this one, and this one give it back to this one, and this one give it back to this one, and this one take this other's assignment and give it back to this one. It doesn't matter whichever way, meaning your script can be assessed by two different people or three different people or just one person. At the end of the day, that's the process of peer assessment. Okay, so now we all understand what it means to peer assess each other. So what I'm going to do right now is I will take you to Moodle and show you um, how the assessment tree looks like in terms of workshop, what is expected of you. All right. So now let's look at assessment tree. So listen carefully. This is the lecturer's view where we do the setup, okay? But with you, I want to show you what you're going to be involved in throughout the whole process. So what's going to happen is there is a submission phase and there's also assessment phase. These two phases will be the two phases where you're going to be involved in. Okay, so which means the submission phase, this phase right here, this is where you're going to be submitting your assignment, meaning that from the 23rd of July up to the 6th of August. So between these two dates here, you will be submitting your assignment 3, meaning that you will have time to do your assignment 3 and make sure that you submit within this particular time. Anything beyond the 6th of August, we will not be taking any submissions or late submissions. So if you miss it, then that's it. You missed it. All right. Then we have this second phase here, which is called assessment phase. This is where the peer assessment is going to take place, which means it's going to start when? On the 7th of August, right? So we will communicate with you to tell you that now the workshop is on assessment phase. When you enter your assessment 3, let me give you a demonstration with one here as an example. Let's just say this testing workshop thing down here is assessment 3. Immediately when I click on it, there it is. This is the assessment phase, right? When you enter assessment phase, you'll be able to see the assignments that are being allocated to you to mark, meaning that that could be any two other CIC students, including your assignments, which means can be 3. Then you'll have to check, okay, this one is from HN, which is the initials and the surname, and then you assess that students. A third student, second student will appear here, the third student will appear here. Then you'll make sure that you assess all 3 assessment. Okay, I'm just going to quickly do this. Click on assess. I'm giving you an example. So this is a submission from the particular student, which is the HN student who submitted this assignment. In this case, we will say is assignment 3, right? For CIC. You open the assignment, you read the contents, then you come check the rubric according to the way specified. There's the points, for example, need improvement to satisfactory to. This is by the criteria based on the rubric. So it would be advisable to have the rubric in hand, right? And then you assess, then you check on which question, is it 1 or 2 or 3, where you need to provide feedback on, then you type your feedback in that box. Okay, so now let me go back here. So as I was saying, that's where you peer assess other students, right? So also this process, I'm emphasizing on the dates because it's very important. Also this process, it will start on the 7th of August. You see, we have given you enough time. And then it will close on the 31st of August, right? Now, So here you need to listen to this. A workshop activity, it has 2 marks. Okay, 1 mark is for submitting, and 1 mark is for assessing. Okay, so the first mark for us submitting is the mark whereby your other peer is going to review your work. You're also going to assess your work yourself, and you get an average mark. The second mark is you assessing other students. I hope it makes sense. So you'll be getting 2 marks. And then combining both marks, it will be out of 100, which is going to be the total of the entire assignment. All right. So that's how it is going to work. So assessment rate is going to be out of 50, of course. When I say out of 100, I mean like the 100% of 50. All right. That's how it's going to be done. We will work through with all these phases with you on a weekly basis. So, for example, when this assignment opens on the 23rd, we will tell you assessment is open. Download the assessment instruction, do the assignment, and upload and submit on the workshop. And then when it's about to close as well, we'll tell you the assignment is closing. We don't receive submissions anymore. And then when the assessment section open, this one here, we will let you know and tell you how many students you need to assess. And then you have from the 7th of August until the 31st of August to assess all the students which are allocated to you. And after you have done that, then we wait for the feedback. And then we as the lecturers and the markers will come to this point here, which is very important, the grade evaluation phase. This is where we're going to check if people were fairly peer assessed, if people did really pay attention to the peer assessment process, was it fair, and all those things. Okay. And then we find you not being ethical, maybe we find you cheating because you give your friends many marks, then you'll be punished. And then from this grade evaluation phase, we release the marks, then we close the workshop, then assessment 3 is done, then we focus on assessment number 4. I hope it all makes sense. So what's going to happen is this entire video is just to make it clear to those. I'm sure some of you now you're seeing what is a workshop activity. I just explained the entire process, how it works. So whenever you get confused, come back to this video, review it. Okay. So the assignment itself will also try to explain it to you for those who find it difficult to understand certain terms, and then we'll make it clear to you. And I'm going to end my session here. Good luck and all the best.